Welcome, trainers, to the PokeSphere, your destination for in-depth Pokemon news, community discussions, and in today's topic, Mega Theories. We are once again joined by artist extraordinaire Subarashi, as he has most graciously chose to join us today and show off some more Mega Evolutions that we might see in PLZA, or something that we would like to see in PLZA. So let's jump into it.
Hello.
So for those of you who haven't seen or heard of Subarashi before, Suba's been featured on other PokeTuber channels as one hell of an artist. He has been a part of Ruffle Rowlett's crew for a very long time. He's been featured with Hidden Power.
Sometimes when I do like a community day, they do like meet up, with the fans, of course, and they talk. And I did recently talk to them about like what we could see about in Legends EA and such.
And of course, with the Gimme Goal Radio, you are known as Captain Suba for your high seas adventures.
Yes.
There has been many times where you have actually had some great artwork, so much so that at one point you drew something so fast that people thought it was official artwork release, when in fact it was your artwork that was being passed around.
Yes, I remember that. That was the before Scarlet and Violet. Yes,
That was Britaraf. Britaraf.
Which was kind of funny. I didn't meant it to be like that, So, oh, this is a cool Pokemon that's been leaked. There was only like little hints of what it looked like, because the images are terrible, what we see with the leaks, And I was like, oh, let's draw that to make it so people can actually see what it, properly. So I did it in a matter of like about 10, not 10 minutes, about
like 20 minutes. I was there for
Yeah.
that call. And we're like, we've got artwork, and you're like, that's my artwork. Who's scattering my artwork?
Yeah, then I posted it on Twitter, and then it just like skyrocketed from there. And it's like, oh my goodness, this tweet did really well. I better do another one. But then obviously people like took it, oh, is this real? It sort of is, but isn't, because obviously it's fan art, which is done by me. But I did tell people to chill. It's not real official artwork. I did it. Sorry about that. And then even like a whole load of other Pokemon YouTubers were like, oh my goodness, what is this?
It wasn't so much that you were trying to trick them. It was you were doing some fan art based on some rumors. And it just so happens that you hit the nail. Not only did you hit the nail on the head, but the art was just so good that
Sugimori art style.
People mistook it for official artwork. So I guess starting off, since the floor is going to be yours, what do you want to show us first?
We all know that Legends EA is going to be amazing. Well, I hope it's going to be amazing, and hopefully we'll be seeing some really good stuff in the game. And everyone is hyped because obviously they're bringing back Megas. The old Megas from X and Y. They're bringing them back. So obviously it would make sense for the game, or for ZA, to give us some new Megas. So I've come up with some designs for the starters. We have, up first, we got Mega Feraligatr.
He actually gives me like Mega Swampert vibes with like the biggest spikes, and he does look a bit bulkier. Maybe that's just the effect of having those sort of like flared cuff things that it's got and the extra padding. But yeah, overall very menacing, but also very cool at the same time. Would risk my life giving it a hug, but that's just me.
So wait, did you make this for Legends EA, or was this from Pokemon Infinite Fusions? Because I am totally loving the Gyarados Gator. Like, I'm not even worried about his claws, because if I get backhanded by those things on his wrists, I'm done for.
You are done for. Well, the thing is, right, I don't know really what I wanted to go with, because obviously most Megas have a theme, and so obviously the typings, everyone's been saying the typings are like, obviously are speculating that if Mega Feraligatr will be a thing, it'll be a water dragon, which kind of makes sense because we'll go on to the others with their typings soon enough until everyone's get their comment on this Mega Feraligatr fight done.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm loving the fins. It's giving me very dinosaur-like Stegosaurus type of feel to it, especially with that tail. And I definitely can see a callback to the dinosaur that are alligators. And a Mega Evolution that's kind of pushing back on that really sings to me. But this also definitely has a very kaiju-esque feel to it as well. So, I mean, I am 100% digging this thing. Completely.
Shout out to Card NLH on Twitter for the background. He let me use his background that he designed, the background for the Legends EA shout out to him. Go and follow him on Twitter.
Now I'm looking at this for alligator and like, oh my god, please, something similar to this. It's actually really cool. Like I am definitely seeing like water dragon type. I'm definitely seeing water dark type coming from this thing. Like I want it. So cool. Because like I do like for alligator's design in general, like his regular base design. But then when I see this for his mega evolution, it's like, oh yes, please. Like if this is what we would like see. Like I'm already planning on like choosing Totodile for my starter for the playthrough, at least for the maybe for my main playthrough, I guess. But like, oh man, if it turns out something like this, oh man, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I don't think any of the other two can compare at this point. I don't know. Like,
And if you're enjoying the content, please join us on our Discord as well as follow us on Twitter or Blue Sky. And let's keep rolling.
Obviously, the next one is not many people's fan favorite, because who's a big fan of Chikorita in here?
Me?
yeah, that's all right.
It's alright.
I like Chikorita.
Like, I don't hate it.
Chikorita. No, because obviously it does go together with Friday because it is a Gen 2 starter as well. And obviously, it is the one that is shafted out of the second generation. You know, most people don't pick her. I always call it a female because it does look like a female. It's a very feminine looking Pokemon, a bit like a dinosaur, female dinosaur, you could say. But obviously, I did a Mega for Meganium. I did do a Mega, and here she is, or he is, doesn't matter.
Okay, this one, I like how it's gotten the longer neck, and then I like how the flower petals, like I think like on the regular one they're more like a wavy, which I find really cool because I think it kind of like shows like a little bit more is like the right word for it, like Meganium just seems like maybe like a docile type of Pokemon. This Mega Evolution makes it look like
It is, yeah. Like more
got
tougher. Yeah.
don't mess with this flower, like and yeah, they like having the extra more near its back. I think that shows off like it's kind of like a lion's mane, right? Like just to show like it's a regality and like like it's got the power now. So actually this would be pretty nice. Maybe I will pick Chikorita as my starter.
It is no secret, I have expressed my disdain for Chikorita as a starter in Legends ZA. I think it's the poorest starter. However, this design, really, really cool. I like how now it looks more prehistoric and like sort of gives more like the old dinosaur-y vibes. Especially given I assume it'll get bigger when it mega evolves, and like the waviness of the flower and just the plant adapting so it can it's a bigger flower and it can just hold itself up better. I think it's really cool.
So one of my biggest issues with Meganium was how empty it looked. If it wasn't for having that flower on the neck, this thing is a naked green dino, 100% or a bean. So adding that, like the flower kind of starting to grow around the head up top as well as the lower neck, great touch. The antenna representing the Stymon, you talked about it being a male-female thing. That's something you could actually play with because a lot of plants would have either bigger or smaller Stymon depending on the different species or the quote-unquote genders of the plants. So that's something, some sexual dimorphism with this design, which would be even better.
Yeah, I like that.
Another thing to add is if you notice when we're seeing the Mega Evolutions, they're getting this like rainbow shift sort of texture over them, and that would just set this whole design off masterpiece.
I'm looking at this, and to me, you definitely have this more wild vibe with the petals of the flower, more wavy as opposed to smooth. This feels like evolution hasn't gotten it to that point, and with the petals around the neck, it's giving me very distinct Dilophosaurus type of vibes, which if anybody remembers what the Dilophosaurus is, or doesn't know what a Dilophosaurus is, it's the spitting dinosaur that you find in Jurassic Park that spits acid out. It has the fins that just kind of bake right before it attacks, and it's giving me the exact same kind of feel. So I'm definitely digging it. It definitely looks a little more angrier, or not so much angrier, but a little more fiercer with the eyes and its overall bulk. It's definitely looking like the mess around and find out type of dino, you know?
Definitely. Also, I'd like to tell maybe this Mega Meganium could be a grass fairy type. Is also an interesting idea. But with the last Mega, Embor. Tepig is interesting starter. Obviously, it's the only one that is Gen 5. 2 Gen 2 starters and 1 Gen 5, which is weird, but interesting. So this is what I designed for Mega Embor. I think it would be smart for it to be a fire steel type.
Steel actually makes great sense. I've seen the approach of like fire dark because of some of the French culinary practices. I believe shout out to Lockstim for mentioning a lot of that historical aspect. I've seen fire water because, you know, boiling, steam, heat, all that stuff. But the number one thing, the one thing that every chef has that they will love to use on you given the chance that you disrespect and use it improperly, their knife. A chef's steel and knife sharpener are so very important to them that this would definitely exemplify that culinary, you know, aspect. I love what you did with the more spectral, like blue flames, it being mega, being very like hot and spicy, and even on the arms it gives me the reminiscence of how certain poofy sleeves will be to help aerate when you're cooking.
I am liking it so much. Like, actually, I'm gonna have to pick Tepig over that now. I'm loving the blue fire that you added to it. That you can see like on its shiny form, and then like you have it on its like regular base form here. And like this dude be looking like the Orc Lord from reincarnated as a slime. He looks so cool.
Oh yes, it does. I didn't even notice that.
He kind of does a little bit. That's really cool. It's really cool. And like fire steel type, I could definitely see it on this guy. Like he's got like the armaments on his arms and everything. So like yeah, totally. And more ends up looking like this, but like a mega or like for a mega form, or even if it's like his regional, like if you get the regional evolution, it looks close to this. I think I'm gonna have to choose Tepig for the starter. I do love Tepig. I still think he's one of my. Oh no, he's not. Is he my favorite starter from Gen 5? I don't know. He's definitely above Oshawott at this point, though. But I do think this one looks really good. Like, this one looks really epic. Really looks epic.
First of all, really cool design. I think the blue fire is sorely underused, but better underused than overused. My idea for a Mega Embor personally wouldn't have been like this sort of bushier, wilder looking Embor, but I actually really like it. I think it stands out quite a lot. I really like it. I think it is definitely my favorite of the 3 Megas, although I will still be choosing Totodile because I will not choose the other 2 based on principle alone. But yeah, no, this is definitely my favorite of the starter Megas.
I'm digging the whole spiel. Like, I can see where X was saying about the spikes on the shoulder, on the arms to like to help regulate heat, almost like a heat sink, considering that you've designed this as a fire steel type. And the blue flame, of course, you know, anybody who studies science, the colors of the flames determine how hot something is, and blue is supposed to be one of the hottest flames out there. So it definitely, to me, it imparts that whole, you really want to be very careful in the proximity of this thing, or you will get cooked.
You will get cooked.
You will get cooked. I'm really digging the design. I think this really embodies Mega Evolution so well, because not only do you have the excess flame, so that it shows that it's generating power, but it's like the Feraligatr. It's got this much more devolved look, this more feral type of feel to it that definitely brings that whole air of things are definitely heating up, no pun intended, and that, you know, playtime is over and it's time to get serious. And I do really like the color scheme that you've chosen here with the dark reds, the blacks and the grays, and then that yellow pops so well. I think this is by far my favorite design. But yeah, I mean, I guess now we'll come down to if you had to pick a favorite. So gents, out of the 3 designs that Suba's presented today for the Mega Starters, what which one do you think you would choose just on design alone? And what?
So you've really backed me into a corner here, because I said out of principle I can't choose Tepig or Chikorita as the starters, but Ember was my favorite of the Mega Evolutions. So I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I plead the fifth.
He pleads the fifth.
Wait, we have 5 options now? Professionally, I do, deal with food a lot. And that being said, a knife is really important, and having that steel. And I think Mega Feraligatr comes with that already equipped. Plus, I could ride him down the sewers. I'm going with the Feraligatr boy.
I'm kind of at a crux too. I mean, I absolutely love the Emboar design. But then there's Feraligatr, who really speaks to me with
Go,
the
go,
whole...
Godzilla.
Yeah, that whole kaiju vibe, and I really just can't say no to. The mental coin flip says Feraligatr. That's where I'm gonna go, but man, that was a hard choice. I'm not gonna lie. I'd actually want to hear what our viewers have to say. Which of these 3 starter Mega Evolutions that Suba has presented do you gravitate more towards? Why? Let us know down below.
Okay, fine. I'll tell him. Look, I already hear this. You guys already know the champion spirit can't shut up. What about the regions? We got, in PLA, we got regional forms. What if they don't even do megas? What if we're all wrong about this? What if they go a completely different direction? Maybe we should talk about that.
I think we already did in last episode.
I think we should do it with Suba.
You want to see more designs. You just
Wow.
want to see more artwork.
Well,
You want to see...
yeah. We like inspiring you.
The argument of them being between Gen 6, but then, that little chat that we had, I was going to see if I could pivot the other way, and I kind of forgot about the previous episode.
We'll see you in the next video.